Hello and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. To my new subscribers, welcome, and to my returning subscribers, thank you for coming back and seeing me again. What I'm going to show you today is a centerpiece that I am going to make for my family for Resurrection Sunday for our dinner. I'm going to start this by showing you everything that I'm using as part of this project, and then we're going to kind of get right into it from there. One of the things that I'm going to use is this cross. I picked this up at Hobby Lobby, and I like it because it has the He is Risen right there, and it does have the crown, and then of course the cross. So I'm going to use that, and then I'm also going to use some foam for this project, and then I'm going to use this as part of the centerpiece that I'm going to hold everything in. The colors that I'm using for this are going to be purple, white, and gold. I have all of the florals that I'm going to use for this centerpiece. And I've got it in different shades of lavender. I've got some nice deep color flower here that I'm going to use as a contrast while I'm building the centerpiece. So I'm going to be using some ferns for this one. I'll also be clipping these off too and attaching them here and there within the centerpiece. I am going to start with the construction and the building of the centerpiece before I start adding any of the florals or anything like that to it. So I've got a couple of pieces of this foam. This piece that has been used, so I'm going to use this for this project to save some money, and I encourage you to do the same. I've got another piece that I'm going to attach to this, and I'm just going to stand it up like that, and then I have a green pick that I'm just going to push right down in there and just push it all the way through, and what it's going to do is just secure both of those pieces together. I'm going to use two of them because I want to make sure that everything is nice and secure as I start building my project. I marked the spot of where I wanted the cross to go, and so I've got a little indentation there, and that is where I'm going to have the cross situated. Now I'm not ready to put that in yet, but I at least wanted to have it marked so once I'm done putting everything together, I know exactly where I want that to go. Now I'm going to start building the base of the centerpiece, and I'm going to use this moss that I got from Dollar Tree. I have this color here that I think is going to work well, and then I'm also going to incorporate a little bit of green in there too, just to give it a very natural look to this centerpiece. And sometimes you got to watch out for this moss because every once in a while they tend to have spiders in them. I don't want to scare you away from using it, but I just want you to be aware that I used some of this on a different project, and lo and behold, a spider came running out and just about scared me. I screamed just a little bit, and then I realized what it was because it was moving, and of course the spider had to go. So I'm just going to start by just placing this around the foam that I'm using, and then I'm going to attach it so that it will stay in place for me with just some pieces of wire that I cut, and I'm just bending them, and I'm using them for my little picks just to stick in there and keep everything in place. And of course you can buy these from the store too, but I just think to save a little money, just cut up some wire and just bend that in half, and then just add it to the foam. And you can see how that's just kind of holding everything together for me. So just a little tip for you on that, just to save some money and to keep your project moving right along. And I'm going to add some of it to the other side too, and just secure those with a few pins. As of the time of this video that I'm doing for you, it's about almost a week away from Resurrection Day. And so I think it's plenty of time to finish up some decorating, final touches here and there that you want to use. And as I said earlier, this is going to be part of the centerpiece that I'm going to be using for my family for our dinner table. And this is just to give you a better idea of how everything looks. And again, don't worry about the fact that it's not all the way covered up, because our florals and our other greenery are going to take care of that for us. The next step is, lost an L. The next step is going to be to start building up with the florals and with the greenery. So where I showed you a little bit earlier that I marked the spot, a little bit of indentation there where I want the cross to go. So as part of the design, what I wanted to do is have a lot of the greenery and the floral to come up behind the cross, and then in the front I wanted to have more of it just kind of laying down a little bit as a carpet. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and get started with that design. This is a project that I'm not going to use a lot of glue with, because I'm going to just use the stems and just stick them right down in there. A lot of times what I generally do when I'm done with a project is I'll go ahead and take everything apart, because these florals, I will more than likely use them on another project. So I'm just going to start by adding and building up with my florals on each side. I'm pushing the green leaves all the way up to the top. I've got one lily right in the middle. I've got a rose on this side, and I'm just going to come in with another rose on that side. And as you see, I'm just kind of turning and adding the florals on there so I can make sure that I get everything distributed the way I want them to on this project. And I'm still working on the front, and then I will come back and work around the back where I want to bring up some of my taller pieces of greenery and my florals. I'm starting this out as a triangle where I have a lily here, a lily there, and a lily right there. And so I'm going to add a rose right in there. I've got one of the smaller flowers in there, and so I'm just going to come over on this side on the corner and add another one. It's starting to fill up where you don't see so much of the foam in there. You really see most of the moss, and I'm going to continue covering that up down in there so that that will go away too. And I'm making sure that I'm still leaving that room in there so that I can add the cross when I'm ready. And these stems just fit really good down into this foam. I'm just going to add a piece over here on each corner, one up and one just a little bit further down, and you can see where it's covering up too. And I'm just making sure that I push all of the greenery up to the top and making a quick cut. Ooh, let's try that one again. And then I'll cut these other ones. I generally have all this cut before I get started, but I wanted to show you how I do this and just use different lengths to put this together. There we go. And now this can go right there. All done with that. I'm going to add a lily right back here. And then another rose on this side. And I'm going to come with a lily here. You see how that's covering it up? I just really love the way these different colors with this lavender, the lighter kind of lilac color, just to give it some definition within this centerpiece. Oh, let's see. Okay, I think I'm going to hold those two pieces just for a moment. Now I'm going to start adding some of the greenery to the back of the centerpiece. I've got a piece of fern that I've cut, and I'm just going to put it right in there. One thing I like about this is because you can manipulate it and turn it so you can have your design looking as organic as you would like for it to look. I'm going to add another piece of the fern on the other side. And I'm going to add a few more smaller pieces in here too. Taking that one off, a quick clip, shorten that one just a little bit. And add it to this side. Now I have to tell you, I've already lost 1, 2, maybe 3 of my fingernail tips on this project right here. So yeah, a manicure is going to be in my future real soon. And that's okay, because with this type of work, you're bound to lose a fingernail or 2, and just goes with the territory. So I'm going to come in with some more taller pieces from another project that I used, and I'm just going to add that right there. Because again, I want to build everything up behind the cross so that it looks very natural. And I've got a rose that I've used from another project. I'm going to add that one right in there. I'll turn this around so you can see what I'm doing and adding those in there. So I've got the fern, I've got the greenery coming out, and then I've got the roses that I'm adding. And I'm going to add a rose over here. And then I'm going to add another rose right over here. So I've got 3 of them right in there. So you can kind of see how that's going to fill in and show when I put in the cross. Got some more greenery, and this greenery is kind of a little bit more loose, which again I like. It's got some really pretty purple tips on it, and I've used this in a different project too. So I just kind of like the way all the different colors, the different shades of the purple, the lavender, the lilac are all coming together for this centerpiece. I've added some of the astramaria to the centerpiece, and I've got a few more pieces that I'm going to add, and that's going to help with a lot of the coverage that I'm doing on this centerpiece. Oops, that piece came apart, but I can put that right back together again just by sliding those back in. Easy peasy. And I'm going to add this one, I think right down in here. And I'm just going to have a little bit of that hanging down. And then I'm going to add another piece right in the middle, right up under this lily. And then another piece on the other side, right in there. And I manipulate it so it looks like it's kind of growing within the rest of the florals that are down in there. Just kind of moving it around. And you can see how that's filling in and just looking really pretty right under there. I've got 2 pieces up in here, and I'm just moving those around because, again, I just like the way that they look like or appear to be growing out of the same pieces. I'm going to add a piece right over here. Still making sure that I have room for my cross. And then I've got some spaces right on this corner that I want to cover up. Cutting shorter pieces of Astromeria to put on that side so that I can cover up that spot just a little bit right in here. That's so pretty. The way that color is just giving a nice accent to the rest of the lavender that's in there. And I'm just searching for any other spots on here that I need to cover up. Like I said, I'm not really trying to cover up everything, but at least the majority of it. I've got another rose, which is a different type, a different color, a different shade variation that I'm just going to stick right in here. And I think I'm going to add a couple more pieces right here, and then I'm going to go around and just take a quick look and see where I want to add some more. Now I have some berries that I'm going to use to kind of cover up some of the spots that might just be a little bit visible right in there. You can see where I added that, and I've got a few more that I'm going to add. And I believe I'm going to move on to the cross next. I'm going to add a berry right in there. I'm going to add a rose right under here. I'm going to add this rose right down in here. I'm going to lift this up so you can see it a little bit better and just see how it just fills everything in. To add the napkin to the cross, I just folded it and looped it through where I could still see that he is risen on the sign. The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and attach it to the centerpiece. Now, I have not used my glue gun in quite a while, so I want to make sure I'm going to protect my fingers when I start using it. If you ever had any of the hot glue to get on your fingers, it can really take off the top layer of your skin. So my husband, about a couple years ago, he bought me these finger protectors. He got them off of Amazon. So I'm going to put them on real quick. And I encourage you to do this as well, just so that you don't have any kind of accidents, because before you know it and before you even realize it, the glue is stuck and it starts to burn your fingers. So I've just covered up the first few. So my glue is all ready, and I'm just going to add a little bit of it to the bottom. All the way around. Oh, a little bit drip down there. Better on the flowers than my fingers, that's what I say. Now I'm going to just open it up down in there where I have that little indentation, and I'm just going to push that right down and hold it just for a moment to make sure that the glue holds the cross in place for me. Now I can go ahead and finish. I can take these off now. Fingers are safe. And this is how it turns out. I think it turned out just the way I wanted it to, with all of the different flowers on there, the different colors. I've got the cross in there. I've got the cloth that is draped through the cross as part of my decoration for my centerpiece, for my table, for my family, as we enjoy our dinner and enjoy the resurrection. Well, I hope that you enjoy this. I hope this is something that you will try. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Like my channel, subscribe to my channel, and as always, whatever you do and wherever you go, be blessed.